Welcome to the PSDovito podcast. I am Bert Rage and this is Robert Rage. Robert Rage, what are we talking about on this first podcast today, and what the hell is up with this set?
Well, Bert, we're talking about Little Big Planet 3 server being complete and utter. It's terrible, basically, without swearing too much.
Yeah, it's not good. It is really not good. This is the second time now that while loading the game or playing the game, my profile has been corrupted and I've lost everything that was on my planet. I do back up the levels, but this current level wasn't backed up, and this is literally just a picture in the background of the set that I had created. Then why is Little Big Planet, given the millions of people that play it, or however many people play it, why are the servers so bad?
I honestly don't know, mate. I feel like in some ways the game has improved a lot in terms of what you can do, but in terms of the server, it's terrible, and there's too many problems. Like when we're playing together, when we're creating together, when we're trying to play the story together, it always, like after 5 minutes of playing, it goes, oh no, you've been diverged or whatever, and you just can't really get into the game and enjoy it.
No, I get exactly what you mean. I get verified every 10 seconds sometimes when we're creating a level together. I get in there and it verifies me before my character's even loaded into the level properly. And it's ridiculous. It's how it can't handle just two people creating a level together, which is the game's designed to let 4 people create a level together. I can't even imagine what that must be like.
Yeah, considering like the game, that is the core of the game, is to create, and if you can't create with other people, then it kind of takes away from the heart of the game.
I mean, it's good it lets you back up levels, but this profile corrupting thing should have been sorted out. This is just one of many problems there is with Little Big Planet 3. It was like saying, it is a great game, but it's got so many problems that it makes it hard to keep playing and keep doing stuff. I mean, all the levels I've created, like all the tech, it's not just the levels, but it's the tech, it's the stickers, it's the costumes, it's all the things that you've done that you will repeatedly use in different levels, or things that you're still trying to learn from, like the go-karts we've created, you know. Luckily I've got a lot of that backed up, but there is stuff that I've done that I haven't got backed up. Like now I've got nothing really in my stickers, only what I've managed to take screenshots of and import. Like, but there was loads of stickers I'd obviously created for use in levels. All the costumes that we created for the Royal Rumble, I'm not sure how many of those I've got backed up. I would have thought they'd have done a patch for it by now, I'll be personally honest.
They should though. I'm surprised, but they've yet again released a game that's not ready to be released. It's not ready to be. It needed to be a bigger game. It's only like, hang on.
Sound like 17, innit?
14 gigabytes before all the updates. It needed to be 30 at least, or 40. Little Big Planet.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. For the amount of stuff you can do, and, you know, the amount of stuff you do if you get into it. I mean, my moon was absolutely covered in levels that I've just gone into, and I've been experimenting with some tech, and I've gone and saved that. Or I've started on a level, then run into some complications with some tech, or something that I've yet to figure out, so that level just sort of sits there for a little while. And it's it does, you need so much more room.
And it puts me off, like I feel like it puts us both off, like creating together, because we tried it last week or something like that, and like every 10 seconds Bert was getting verified, and it was like we couldn't get into the swing of things, of actually creating and coming up with ideas, and it's very difficult to do that when you haven't got your friend there to, you know, bounce off, sort of thing.
Yeah, or like the Superman versus Batman level is the one you're talking about, which we've got to a very good point. I mean, like, the tech's good in it, the Superman and Batman are good in it, the fight stuff's good in it. We just needed to put the finishing touches on it and just make it look good and do a few extra things. But like Dan says, it's impossible because he's in there, and the second I'm loaded into it, I open my pop hit, I get verified. You know, I might be able to move like 3 feet and then I get verified, but like all I can keep doing is coming in and saying, oh Dan, turn that, change this, change that. You know, sometimes it's okay if I'm in the level when I'm not doing anything. I can sometimes watch Dan like doing what he's doing and just talk to him, but even then I still get verified, which I have got some video footage of this happening, and I will probably put together a little video of a lot of these Little Big Planet problems.
And what's there been now? 3 updates since we've had this game?
Yeah, at least 3 updates, I would imagine. That's the other thing, man. It's not just Little Big Planet. You talk about unfinished games, and it's not just Little Big Planet. Every game that comes out, understandably with the online stuff, does need to figure out some kinks. The prime example, Little Big Planet, is, you know yourself that you can create a level and go, yeah, that works, that's good, and then you play it with someone and you go, and your mate goes, that don't work, what's going on here, why don't this, and you're like, nah, yeah, it doesn't quite work with 2 people or 3 people, you know. And it's like, you do have to figure out what these games are going to be like. Like Battlefield, for example, you could create that, you could test it with groups of people, but these groups of people more or less know what they're going to be testing, know what they're going to be doing, you know, what they're looking for, you know. Whereas when you put it out there and you go, hold on, now this is on multiple servers, multiple internet connections, different people on different fucking accounts and that, it becomes a bigger deal, and it's a lot harder to figure out. So you can understand why they need updates with multiplayer stuff, which is the same for Little Big Planet, but it needs a damn sight more updates for the multiplayer stuff, because we can't do the campaign, Little Big Planet 3 campaign online, because that will corrupt a profile when you come out of the levels. Creating is difficult to do. We managed to play some levels, but even then there was a serious amount of lag. So it's like you say, it needed to be bigger, and it also needs massive amounts of updates.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's not the only game that's like it. There are, like, every game you play has got far too many updates, and that's because I think game companies are going, well look, it's playable, yeah? Let's chuck it out there, make our money off of it, yeah, and then we'll just do these patches and these updates, and then eventually everyone will get to a point where, well, things are slightly working. You know, things are working to, you know, a decent degree, or they may never get that far. I mean, when do you think the next Little Big Planet game will be out? Another year, 2 years? Will this one get sorted out, or is it gonna be a thing, an ongoing problem? In which case, how much life does this game lose? Because this game could have infinite life to like sit here and just play it and create levels, play levels, do things like this with it, you know, the podcast show, using Little Big Planet to create sets and the such, you know, and we can sit here and we can do our podcast, we can talk about what we want, and obviously liven it up. The podcast studio that I did had so much more in it, like this YTW 18 plus sponsored area where you go in and throw the straws out of the ring and score points. What sort of updates, what's the worst updates you've had since you've had the PlayStation 4? What game's given you the most grief?
Little Big Planet 3 is every other game works pretty much fine, but I haven't had much grief with other games we've played. Little Big Planet 3 is the worst out of the lot. It's freaking terrible how bad it is for the online stuff anyway. And get like games like stuff you've created getting corrupted and all that stupid shit. That's just ridiculous. It shouldn't be happening. It's why bring out a game, or at least sort the freaking game out and do a patch for it. Even if it was another 5 gigabytes, just do it. Sort the game out.
Yeah. Yeah, they can do that, yeah? They can add extra stuff for a patch. Like that.
They can. They just haven't done it yet. I think the main problem as well is the fact that it's a different publisher. Because I think it's the publisher. Sumo Digital.
Yeah, Media Molecule done the first two. Like, and with that said, I can understand that, alright, they're a new company and they haven't had enough time to get the grips with the game and to create the game so it feels new and fresh and it's got plenty of new stuff in it. Like, they've gone with the 16 layers and the layer launchers, and, you know, there's a lot in it that I can understand. Alright, they haven't had enough time to sort all that out. So maybe by Little Big Planet 4 they will have had time to sort all that out. But yeah, you're right. I think a lot of it does come down to the fact that they've got new developers on it.
It just takes away from one of the best games on the PS4 or PlayStation in general. It just takes away from what the game is.
Yeah.
And what people create on the game. People create some amazing levels. And yeah, we have played a lot of levels and successfully played them as well. But when we're trying to create our own levels and we can't do that, it takes away from the experience.
Yeah. Yeah, because we would spend so much more time creating levels if it was enjoyable. But it feels like work. Maybe not so much for you, because I'm like, well, you know what it's like when you come onto my profile, but a lot of the times when we do things together, we do it in your profile. And so, like, I'm getting verified constantly, and it's just like, I can't get into the flow of things. I come in, I go, yes, I've managed to click on this fucking thing and change its colour, you know?
Yeah.
It's, and then I'm verified again, and it's like, and it shouldn't be like that, you know what I mean? Elder Scrolls, I had a bit of trouble with. There was an error thing, but they'd done a patch that must have sorted that out. Just don't get it anymore.
We've done a couple of patches since we played that.
So even that, we had problems. We was running around together, and then out of nowhere, one of us would disappear, and then we'd have to go and find the other dude by teleporting for a well again, like for a way shrine. And Battlefield obviously is designed more solely for online play, and that is probably why that is one of the best online experiences we've had in terms of comfortable play, continuous play. And to be fair, Need for Speed is very good in that. You don't have no problems with that, do you?
Well, this has been the PSDovito podcast. This has been Bert Rage and Robert Rage. We've been talking about the problems with Little Big Planet 3.
and we generally just, this is our first podcast, this is not the real set, this is not how it should be, and we will be, don't even try it.
I was coming over
you.
to say hello. I felt
Come
too...
over, smiley face then. Proper geese. Right, this has been PSDovito. Come back, subscribe, leave comments. I'm not trying to slap you, by the way. Leave comments, and we will get back to them comments in our next podcast, which will probably be more well thought out. This was totally random. This has been PSDovito. This is Bert Rage. We'll see you soon on PSDovito. So bye, Dan.
Bye, Dan.